Without further ado, it's Monday, guys. Pleasure to be here with you. My name is McGuire Tate, a part of the DAC corporate team. I've been here for just under 3 years, loving every moment of it. Get to be with you guys as the host every day and get to share Mondays with you guys as the quarterback, just to share some quick moments, some tips, and some guidance to you guys. Get the hair on fire so we can get back out and tackle the rest of the day. So I'm going to jump right into it today for the sake of efficiency, so we can get fired up and get right back out to our days. We meet here every day though, to ground ourselves, right, and what it means to be a DAC broker, servant-minded, servant-led, making sure that business owners that are out there, especially the ones that are in our communities, know that we have their backs, right, at a time where they need to make a pivotal move or they're in a pinch with their business. The banks aren't an option to get working capital. We step in, we fill that gap. We stand right in the A gap. If you're a football person, we stand right there in the middle of all the brunt of the situation. We find them what they need, and we make sure it's what they need. It's going to impact their business positively, not negatively, and we move forward. Right, that's our main goal. Obviously, we have a great team with the Bank Breezy platform, right, that guides us and helps us through our clients. But it's our job is, like I said, standing right in the middle of the brunt of what it means to run a business and be there with those business owners. So we do that daily, right, in different ways: networking, conversations, helping referrals, whatever it may be. But that's the main thing. We keep that the main thing every day we get here and we meet. So I'm going to jump right into today's funny story, which is hot off of the press from our main man, Cordell, our senior funding director. This is a trucking industry business out of Pennsylvania. The broker on this is Impressive Multi-Services, Inc. The use of funds, the client was looking to, the client required immediate funding needs to complete critical repairs on one of their commercial trucks, allowing it to return to service, begin revenue as quickly as possible. So they had a truck down. They need those repairs to get that back up so that they can bring in revenue, right? The challenge with this business is, while the business owner maintained a really strong credit profile, the underwriting process was impacted slightly by a significant decline in July month-to-date revenue. So they requested the month-to-date statement, and that was approximately 50% lower than normal for them. So as a result, the available funding was limited to $16,000. So we talked with the clients, saw if this would suffice for what they were looking to do. It was a slightly lowered approval amount, but they understood with that month to date why that was the case, and we successfully were able to secure and fund them that $16,000 flex rate funding offer. They accepted it. They were able to get those repairs taken care of, get that truck literally back on the road so that they can continue services and bringing in that revenue. So another prime example, very timely need. They came to it and said, hey, this is down. Every moment that this is down, our business is losing X amount of revenue. So we need this like yesterday. So our team came in, got them that $16K. They were able to do that. Now they understand the process going forward. If anything happens, they know that they can get it in a timely fashion. And even if it's something that's, slightly down the road, they know how quickly this process works. So great job to the broker. Great job to the Bank Breezy team. Every single day, guys, we're just providing these real life examples of how business comes in, idea or need. Here's the solution. Get back out on your way, right? So all in all, hats off to everybody here. Today's topic with you guys I have is Mental Mondays. I know I speak about this briefly just along my messages, but I figured today I wanted to jump in and put a spotlight on really what this means, because obviously I get to spend every Monday with you guys, right? And sometimes my topics, range from different things, but I always, sometimes mention this Mental Monday and how important it is, right? Obviously it's a little play on words here, but it means a lot to me. So I'm going to jump right into it. As DAC brokers, the Monday through Friday, the typical work week doesn't really apply to us. And we mention this sometimes because we're always in a moment of serving, right? You heard some of these testimonials this morning. Harlequin, Leslie, even though we're on the weekend, right? Maybe sometimes enjoying ourselves, or maybe we're actually out at a networking meeting. We're always constantly at a place to where if we need to serve, we're there to serve. So as Monday through Fridays, signals or signifies the traditional work week, we're always, as DAC brokers, technically on the clock, right? We're always there to push the needle forward if need be. But Monday does, signaled the universal start of the work week, right? Everyone, Sunday night, you get back to work Monday, you get your head back in the game. And with that being said, the good and the bad of the prior week, really the prior day, is gone, right? It's the past. So we move into a new week with Monday being really important about setting our tone going through the rest of the week. And the mental side of being a broker with DAC is so very important. We talk about that all the time. I wrote that's partially one of the reasons that we meet here every day, right? Is to keep our minds in the game, laser focused, but also just to keep camaraderie, right? We're all doing the same thing. We all have the same goal, the same mission. So this helps ground us. But aside from the huddle, right, our day starts, for most of us much earlier than when the huddle starts. So it really starts with us sitting in our chair, wherever we're at, the beginning of that new week, right? So, there's joy in knowing that even though every day is a brand new day, today is the start of a new week where we could potentially make unbelievably valuable connections, right? Starting like today, like right after this call. Maybe some of you already have before this call, right? So Monday sets the tone. My ask for you guys is to, I've said this before, but just to take Mondays as knowing that we're all waking up, we're all human, we all put our socks on, we all get dressed in the morning, and there's good and bad in each day, right? But that's behind us. Last week is literally the past. And as we move forward with this week, look back at what happened last week, the good and the bad, make your tweaks, make your adjustments, make your mental reset, right? Start of a brand new week. You got to come in with the right mindset so that what transpires between now and this Sunday is all leading up to the same thing that you said that you started out with Monday, right? So, for me, I have my sticky notes. I write my weekly goals. What am I outputting? What am I hoping to get back out of that? And when it starts Monday, that means it continues throughout the week, right? But I can't do any of this without my mind being grounded and being reset. And it's really important that we do that because we're in a game where as much as we are serving, there's a lot of intake that we have, right? From maybe not getting a response to an email or hearing that someone's, all set for right now. There's a lot of things that we accrue throughout the day, throughout days and throughout the weeks that maybe we, push down or just keep to ourselves. But if we can set our minds straight, knowing that we're here to be servant led, we're here to make an impact whenever that happens, and know that it's not up to us, but it is up to us to make ourselves set every week, right, for this week that we're about to take on. So look at last week, look what went right, look what didn't go so right, make your tweaks, set your goals, and let's just tackle this week, guys, right? We're here every single Monday, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, here together doing the same, trying to tackle the exact same mission and with the same passion. So I always end off with a quote. Today's I feel fits very well. It's actually what led me to make today's topic what it was, because I heard this over the weekend. It's not a new quote to me, but I do love this one. It says, "Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift." That's by Eleanor Roosevelt. And actually, in parentheses after the quote, it says, "That's why we call it the present." That's why we call today the present, right? Right now, the present. It's a gift to be here. We don't know what is to come of tomorrow. We know what happened yesterday. We know how to learn from that. So let's go forward. Let's tackle this week. Let's make some unbelievably valuable connections, some new relationships, help those out there that are in need, quite frankly, and let's meet some that might have that same opportunity coming up in the near future, right? So I hope we can take a little bit of that today. It's Monday. Let's start it off freaking strong. It is a brand new week. It's a brand new month, guys. The funny special, if you didn't hear on Friday, is live. It's in the resource center. The funding special for August is the HVAC industry. It's these businesses are in the heat of the peak of their revenue generation right now. There's a lot of repairs and things going on in these summer months. So we felt like it was an amazing time to reach out to these industries and give them a little bit of an advantage to apply. So let's tackle that. That's something to be laser focused on. Tomorrow night, make sure you're there and make others aware. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m., you're there and make some others aware. Get them in that room. It's going to be phenomenal. David Rutz is going to be covering some brand new, just laser focused items tomorrow, and it's going to be a place that new brokers and seasoned brokers are going to want to be tomorrow night. So I love you guys. God loves you more. Love it. Going to have ourselves a day today. Appreciate you checking in, Margaret. It's always good to hear from you. Lois in the chat, good morning to you. Love it, love it. Appreciate everybody checking in. The stories today, you guys are phenomenal. As much as we bring some value as the quarterbacks to you guys control the whole entire pre-huddle, right? Because it's just you guys and what you guys have to share. So it doesn't happen without you guys. Appreciate you every day. It is 11:30, so we're going to pass it over to our quarterback today, Mr. Wade Cordell, our fearless senior funding director. He's had decades of experience in this industry. That's why we love and appreciate him so much. So without further ado, sir, floor is yours.
Okay, thanks, guys. If I sound hurried, it's because I am. I am. We've got lots of good things going on. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the life journey of a new file. But before I do that, just tell you a little bit about my background. I've been with DAC really for 9 of the 10 years. Dave and I met. I was already in the industry, had my own company. Uh, Unlike David, I was able I knew about this type of funding, and in my company, I've used it several times in the past, and we both sold our companies to the same public company and got to know each other. And what Dave and I both came to the conclusion of was that we'd work great together, knowing that small business people need us bad. I was talking to a banker just this morning, and he says, "Man, I cannot believe this." He says, "You're right. 1 out of 10 people that walk into a bank, they can't walk out with $10,000, and you guys have a solution and an answer at a reasonable cost, especially with the prepayment discount." So, guys, the opportunity that Dave has put together, quite frankly, is beyond anything else that's out there. You can always go get a contract here or there, but no one lender is going to be able to satisfy what you're going to need to be successful in this industry. And that's why the Bank Breezy platform is so incredible. Let me quickly go over our funding story. It's a security company in California. The broker is Gilbert Arcelis, I know Gilbert goes by Dean. The client requested $300,000 to cover payroll expenses while he was waiting for two of his biggest clients, which are government contracts, to pay him. This happens all the time, folks, where they just don't get these government monies in. This happens in healthcare, and it's happening with these guys. The client was offered $350,000. They accepted our offer. I got all the stipulations we needed, and then we realized there was a UCC filing, and come to find out, the client had taken $110,000 just a couple of days ago. Normally, that would really kill the deal, but because of our influence with this particular lender and in the industry understanding this, we were still able to get them approved for 150,000, and they're accepting it, signing everything. We should get it funded today. That's why it's so important when we're talking to clients to just be truthful with us. I don't care how bad a situation is, as long as I got the information I need, I can use my team and I can go out and we can make things happen in the industry. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the life journey of a new file. By the way, congratulations, Dean. That was Gilbert Dean, whichever you go by. That was a really, really good file. And this Gilbert actually has been in the industry as a banker for many, many, many years. So he loves what he sees here with us. I'm going to share my screen with you guys right quick and hop right into this because we are really swamped here, and I want to go, but I want to do a good job on this. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the shared notes in our system that we try to share with you guys. We share as much as we can, and then talk about the life journey of a new merchant file. Of course, you know the client initiates the application process by clicking on the. You guys can see this, right? The
Yes, sir.
Yes, we
okay.
can.
All right. The client initiates the application through your particular link. If the client goes to the Bank Breezy website and types in your link, then you're not going to automatically get these notes and updates that we send. So you want to make sure you send them your link. And once you have submitted the application and we receive the documents, you receive an email making you aware of that. I think these notes are some of the most valuable tools on the Bank Greasy funding platform because they detail the history that's contained within the file. These notes are not simply internal comments. They provide real-time visibility into exactly where a client's file stands throughout the entire funding process and really the whole life cycle of the file. We share many of these notes with our brokers, but some notes we really can't. We're not allowed to share, especially pertaining to confidential information. Um, some of the information that we get, we want to be again, we want to be as transparent as we can because transparency brings strength in our partnership between you guys and us and the client. But by reviewing the notes, our Bank Breezy team immediately can see what already has been completed, what lenders have requested, what offers have been received, and whether they are outstanding items preventing us from getting our client funded or not. Now, just as importantly, these notes that we do share allows us to step in when your assistance is needed. If we are having difficulty reaching your client by phone, text, email, your relationship with that client can often make the big difference. A quick call, a message from you encouraging your client to respond can keep the file moving forward. It can prevent necessary delays, and in a lot of cases, help us secure the strongest possible funding solution. So you guys are important to us. The Bank Breezy funding platform is built on collaboration. The more we communicate and work together with our brokers, the better results for the clients, for your business, and for the entire funding team as a whole. But let's take a look at some of the notes. And I couldn't put all of them in here because they wouldn't be appropriate for you to see those. But here's a real file. You can see that Brad put in there on July the 27th that we received our documents awaiting business boarded check. We don't wait for that check before we send it to the lenders, but we're still trying to get that. The above section here that Brad's talking about, you just need to know he may have already made 5 to 10 calls, emails, texts, just to obtain all the documents required in many of these cases. Chasing clients sometimes can be stressful, but it's necessary, and we do a lot of that, and we get it in very, very, very quickly. Here are some of the notes from the lenders. These are not all the full notes because I just can't tell you some of the stuff. And I did change the name of the client to XYZ Inc. Because you just don't need to know that. Lender one came back and says, please find below underwriting decline. And it says it's a prohibited industry. They don't want to fund that industry. Lender number two came in and they made an offer. They made a $60,000 offer on that file. Lender three says they decline it. The business doesn't pass a risk criteria. That it doesn't mean that their FICO didn't pass. It means that every lender has their own risk criteria, risk score. That score isn't met, they're not going to move forward. And then we got the fourth lender that came back, ABC Capital. That's not the real name. That's temporarily pausing new funding in that particular state that we're trying to get funding in, and that's because of some of the regulations. Lender five comes in and just it's a decline. They didn't meet the risk scoring. It doesn't mean the FICO wasn't there. It just means they're not interested in this file. Then you get lender six comes in. They got a background check. It's history of financial offenses, history of violent offenses. All of that's noted in the file. Lender seven came back and said it's poor credit, the low FICO, several delinquent trade lines. And you look at all this and you say, man, somebody made an offer. The client received an initial offer. This is from Damien, who is one of our team members. He says, I contacted the client and began my exploratory call to see what their use of funds were. Client needs $50,000 to provide inventory and build out the second location. The client's anxious to move forward. However, they know that their credit is average and they have a few background issues that have been disclosed. I'm going to be presenting the $60,000 from lender two, and then the client accepted the offer. It's past 6 p.m. So I ordered funding contracts and bank verification link from lender. Client states they will complete both tonight. The merchant claims everything's signed the next morning. The bank link's done. They claim they completed it. Funding call is completed. Through the emails that we got, there's a lot of emails that are here from underwriters that you're not going to be able to see. I'm not putting those notes in there. And then funding call completed and waiting on funded email. And then Brad Wade received funded email. Thanks for your, and then the note, thanks for your help on this file, getting it funded so quickly. This is Damien back to us. Then we received the funded email, 60,000. It was a 139, 160, but we got them weekly payments for that. This file went through a tremendous amount of high cut. And when you first look at it, you would think, wow, the only one lender even made an offer. And sometimes that is an indication that you probably aren't going to get it when they do all their backgrounds and everything. But what we did on this one is we advanced it to final underwriting quicker. I asked them to go ahead and take a look at it. I was very honest with them. When I say I'm talking about our team with the senior underwriters. And yeah, they've had some glitches in the past. They're really doing well. You can see that we make a case, almost like you go into court. We're making a case for the client. And all in all, they looked at it and they said, you know what? We can bear the risk. And they funded it for $60,000. So congratulations to the broker that brought that file, to the team that handled it so well, and we're really appreciative from the lender partners. And as I started this out, I said, you can go get contracts here and there. You're never going to be successful unless you have a huge amount of companies that can look at a file without affecting the person's credit. And that's what's valuable about what we're doing here. We're able to look at a file and have 20 other eyes on that file. And they know they're competing. They're going to give their very best offer the first time. And when they do that, then it's our obligation and responsibility to move this through the system very, very quickly and take the best offer. Not always, sometimes the best offer isn't the best amount. It has to do with cost of funds and everything. And we understand by doing that exploratory call at the very beginning, which you saw that in the notes, it lets us know really what this client is looking to accomplish. And we pretty much have a heads up that it's not may not always be the dollar amount. Sometimes it's the term and the payback amount. So without further ado, McGuire, do you want to say anything about tonight?
Yeah, I would just say that there's going to be emails going out, the Facebook and the DAC Facebook just between now and tonight. I put out a post if there's anybody that you just really haven't thought of yet, or you've thought of and haven't reached out yet, that this opportunity could be life changing for. Make sure they're in that room tonight. We have this once a month. So that means for the next 30 days, there's not going to be something like tonight, right? With the founder of the company there live, all together. So make sure you send out those reminders. Like Erica mentioned, she's got a few folks that, have said that they're going to try to be out there tonight. Send those reminders. We're still human. We get distracted, and make sure that between now and, don't wait until 7:30, between now and, 5 o'clock, right? End of workday. Reach out to some folks that you haven't thought of yet. That's all I got. 8 p.m.
Fantastic.
Eastern.
Look, and guys, if you think of any topic you want me to discuss that had not to do with anything except the files themselves and funding, shoot me an email at wade@bankbreach.com, and I'll be glad to consider putting some stuff together for that.